brought to you almost live from the Dude in the Basement studios. Why? Because that's where the good stuff is. It's Sips, Suds, and Smokes with your smoking hosts, the good old boys. Suds, Suds, Suds. It's time for more Suds.
Hey, everybody. Don't touch that dial. Don't adjust your set. Don't shift your chair around. This is Sip, Suds, and Smokes.
Be still.
Talk about everything good in life that is worth discussing. On today's Suds segment, we're going to talk about a lot of great beer where we drink, belch, and repeat. We're going to have, this is going to be an unusual episode.
It already feels kind of unusual.
Yes, that is an understatement. Today's episode is what happens when good old boy Dave tries to get one over on the rest of us.
And succeeds.
He's so happy.
Wise move.
He's so happy.
He's almost giddy.
He is.
I'm not so sure about all this. So I'd have to say it's the definition of a questionable decision for sure. Yep. Yep, that's right. This is the episode that's part of the Summer of Questionable Decisions. Here joining me at the table is good old boy Dave.
All right.
Yeah. He enjoys this way too much for sure. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey.
I think they've actually slipped some drugs into all these drinks. That's really what's
you do
happening.
look a little like Matthew McConaughey.
Thanks, buddy.
Good old boy Kendall is at radio microphone right to me.
Normally, I like to chime in with it's good to be here, but I'm not so sure today.
Right, yeah. You're going to have to double your fee, right?
What is 2 times 0?
Hey, this is good old boy Mike. I am hosting this episode today. In at microphone left to me is good old boy Caperton.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, barely.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm here. I am here. I'm confused and lost and so nothing's different.
The torture queen herself is, down there. She's grinning ear to ear. Look at this. She's scheming right away. It's good old gal Julieanna.
Hi. I can't wait for this episode.
I think this episode should be called "Get Even with Mike." That's exactly what I think this episode is really called
humor.
about, for sure. Well, before we move on, let's talk about who is our advertiser for this segment.
Pull My Finger. It's the dating app for marriage-minded singles who want to skip past the excitement and hard work of new relationships and get right to the good stuff. Forget the little black dress and go straight to sweatpants and an old t-shirt. No more glamour shot profile pics, no makeup, no filters, no problem. When you're ready for the real thing and you don't have time to stop and smell the roses, Pull My Finger. Download today.
Well, we've done a lot of interesting shows for our summer series. We've done boat beers. We've done lawn beers. We've done a Summer of Questionable Decisions several times. And, so if you've missed any of those previous series and our other summer seasons, definitely go back and check those out. They're a lot of fun. So with most of our episodes, we usually know what beers we're trying, or at least the style of the beer. Today, though, not so much.
Nothing.
Dave and Julieanna have kept the rest of us completely in the dark.
They make fun of the way I read.
Yeah, for sure. We each got a sheet of paper so we could write down hate notes against Dave, as well as our ratings, which usually run with the number 1.
Yep.
And so we didn't get to see any of the scripts before we turned the microphones on at all. So we have no idea what is in the flight of 8 beers that we tasted here, but we did come up with some theories. So this flight has a mystery ingredient, one common thing against all 8 of these beers. They don't look alike. They don't smell alike. They don't taste alike. And so we have come up with the following theories as to what all of this has in common. The first off, Caperton had a really good guess that these are all gluten-free beers. That's pretty solid.
They were that bad.
What? No buzzer, no dinger. You're saying okay? Well, there we go.
Incorrect.
Incorrect. I think there's going to be a lot of that. Let's see. I thought they might have been all Canadian beers.
Oh, that was a good guess too. That was a good guess too.
You picked all the crappy side of InBev's entire portfolio. Okay,
Close.
That could be true
That's-
though.
yeah.
That could be
That's actually
true.
not far off.
not
Right,
far off.
that's close.
Yes.
Time will tell.
Macro beers under $2.33. Yeah. Oh well, okay. The bottom of the beer fridge.
Yep.
Okay.
That was a good
The
guess.
torture flight from hell.
Yes.
I think
Ding.
that's it.
Yeah.
I think that is really close.
Yes.
All raspberry beers. Okay. All right. And these are all Dave's homebrew that sucks.
Wow.
Time will tell.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So I thought that those are all very plausible theories.
Yep.
You know, I thought that it was
Some good ones.
quite
in there.
interesting. So we have 8 beers that we're going to go through today, and we're going to talk about our tasting notes. And Dave, so do you have anything to tell us about what these beers have?
So these
Come on, man.
8 beers you just tried
Yep.
and rated and put your notes on. The common ingredient is actually sort of a lack of an ingredient. They are all non-alcoholic.
Okay.
Everything here has 0.5% ABV or less.
Totally believable.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, this does not speak well for my friends who have to drink
Well,
this
and
stuff.
that's the thing. It's like I wanted to do a show about low ABV or non-alcoholic beers, but I didn't want you guys going into the tasting having a preconceived
Sure.
idea.
He also wanted us to volunteer for it. as
Well, yeah, well, that was the other thing too. I knew if I said, "Hey, everybody, who wants to come over Saturday and drink a bunch of NA beers?"
I gotta do my nails.
I wanted to get the most honest impression, and for better or for worse.
Right.
Very,
You know,
So
very
I won.
crafty.
They're all Canadian beers.
They all have alcohol, but with the exchange rate, it actually.
With the exchange rate, it's really a negative alcohol.
See, now,
Banned once
Yeah,
again.
thank you. I knew
the
that was
only thing I picked up on a few of these beers is I thought they had kind of that faint European type of characteristic. So that would explain it, because I know that NA beers are really popular over
Now,
there.
let me ask this.
just I'm
I wanna
just
be
flabbergasted.
Let me ask,
like my urine.
Can we do this over?
are non-alcoholic beers gluten-free by nature?
Some are.
Yeah.
Some
Some
I would
aren't.
imagine some would have to be.
I
That's
don't think that is gonna. It
not
it was
across,
a
not
very
across
good
the board.
guess.
Yeah,
I agree.
I wanted to be right.
It was
So
very.
bad.
It was a very good
Most
guess.
of them I think, are vegan.
vegan. Yeah.
So,
okay.
but who does that
So
surprise?
no,
Yeah.
no.
I think the setup was tainted because
You
you
got
said
us.
what do these beers have? What common ingredient do these beers have in common? That's what he said.
Yeah.
My ratings definitely reflect
what common
this
ingredient is
reality,
missing
Well,
in all of these beers.
you know, the lack of alcohol is a common ingredient.
Yeah,
I got to give you credit for finding 8 alcohol-free beers.
I could have gotten
Dave
more.
has paid attention to me
but,
doing
really, because I
depositions a
can
lot,
only
you know.
I can only think of
It's
one.
not what you're asking; it's
I
what you're
know.
not
And the most
asking.
right.
popular
I
one
only
that you're
think of
thinking
like
of isn't
3.
Sir, I
even
need you
here
to
yet.
answer the
figures.
question.
Yes, right.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So all Dave's homebrew that doesn't have alcohol. Okay, winner.
What a zinga!
All right. Well, good old boy Caperton, why don't you take a minute, tell everybody what we're going to be doing as we go through these beers.
Yes, we will be discussing and rating these. Do we even call these beers?
Yeah,
now?
I was about to say, that's a real stretch.
Near
These
beers.
beverages.
Near beer.
with the Suds ratings, plus our signature belching sounds. And typically these ratings go through 1 through 5. Spoiler alert. We go 1 through 5. But for today, I'm just going to read the first 3 because we did not rate any of these beers above a 3. So for a rating of 1, that sucks. Give me anything but a Bud alcohol free.
What is that called?
Bud NA.
Bud NA.
Bud NA.
There you go.
Okay. Canadian
Rating
Bud?
of 2. 2 was a popular rating today, and that was that even a belch?
Can't be a
that's
beer
super
fart if there's no beer.
And we're topping out today with the rating of 3. What a relief. I guess.
It's almost over. What a
Misleading.
relief.
It's misleading. This
Well, thank you
episode.
for covering the Suds ratings for us there, Caperton.
Yeah, we skipped 4 and 5. Skipping 4 and 5.
3/5.
Our beers that on our sheet I'll go by letter designations from A to H, all 8 beers. So we're going to go through each beer, and we'll talk about our tasting notes and then our common reading out of that. I'm still just kind of flabbergasted.
I am
about
too.
it.
Yeah,
Did
this
you
is
get
crazy.
these? Where did you get these? I mean, I guess you sourced
At a
them
beer
from
store.
different places.
No, one place. Got
Do
them
you
all.
have to go to a liquor store to buy NA beer?
Yeah, but you
Non-alcoholic
have to
beer?
go to a special
Like
section.
Microsoft.
Do they still card you to buy non-alcoholic beer?
No, they do not. And I actually years ago I made that mistake. I went to the grocery store and I grabbed a 6-pack of Busch. Don't ask me why. And I went and they didn't card me. And I was like, what the hell? Why didn't they card me? And I get it outside.
Busch.
NA. And I was
Oh
like,
my God.
son of a.
Head back to the mountains.
Yeah, you got to read it carefully.
And that's
go
why it's
back.
in this flat, everybody.
Yeah, all these years later, I still held on.
I
to
knew
it.
that was where all this really started from, was some accident of some kind. Hey,
Every
we'll talk about this a bit more right after this break. Hey, welcome back to Sip, Suds, and Smokes. On today's Suds episode, we're going through a torture fest. So we were going through a flight of 8 beers we've all tasted blind. It is a mystery ingredient, or I should say it's the lack of an ingredient.
Yeah.
These are all 8 non-alcoholic beers. We still don't know what we tasted. We have captured our tasting notes for these. We're going to discuss each of these and rate it, and then we'll do a reveal of what that was. So we'll start off right here with beer number A.
Beer number A. Number
Yes.
A.
Beer A.
That's why you're doing my job,
Don't
man.
mess with my
I'm the-
Canadian
I'm the-
influence
I'm the,
here.
I'm the
All right?
dunderhead here.
All right. So beer A, what'd you guys, your tasting notes on this? So I guess the one thing about this was a dark beer.
Yep.
It was the only dark beer
only
in the
dark
flight.
beer of the
Yep.
flight.
And I don't know about you guys, but I picked it up and I'm like, And I'm like, wow, how can you have a beer this dark and there is no roast on it whatsoever? It was
very,
not bitter
very
at all.
little.
No
It was-
roast.
and some smoke. Is it smoky?
I
to
got
you guys?
like a chocolatey, like a little faint hint of like a Tootsie Roll
Almost
chocolatey
like
sweetness.
almost like a oyster kind of, minerality or something to it.
That's there too, but yeah, it's
pretty awful.
Really, really light aroma. I was getting like something a vague spiciness.
God,
like
that is horrible.
Like a cinnamon kind of.
It's a little sweet. Yeah,
little
maybe
thing
so.
going on.
Yeah.
It's super thin though.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
So say took all the goodness out
But
of
do
it.
you love it?
not
It was
very
horrible.
lovable.
I don't know how you can get something like that and just have no roasted malt at all. I mean, it's just, that was so bizarre land,
So bizarre.
Such a tough episode.
Yeah.
God
All
almighty.
right, our Suds rating for beer A is going to be a 2,
Duh.
and the big reveal for beer A is going to
She's
be
breaking it out of the cooler here.
Well,
Maybe.
So-
Did we drink it all?
beer.
yeah, you drank it. You drank
Drink it all up, dude.
Right.
I hope so. That was the big plan.
Okay, so this is a Intrepid Traveler coffee cream brew.
What?
129 calories, 7 grams of sugar, 0.4% ABV.
Yeah, no.
It contains lactose and caffeine. The coffee cream stout with the alcohol out.
I would rather just have coffee.
That's
I would rather have just had
they
coffee.
blew their wad
What
with the
is
ad
the
agency
point?
there.
It is
didn't
from
they?
the WellBeing Brewing Company in Missouri.
Mighty.
Oh my gosh!
So
I
there-
would rather have a cold brew coffee than having whatever this.
Okay,
concoction is.
so this is brewed with dark roasted Mississippi mud coffee,
no,
flaked oats,
no.
cinnamon, nutmeg,
There
clove,
we go.
and
Yeah, you
lactose.
nailed
It
it.
is an energetic revelation of spice and flavor
There
in
is
non-alcoholic beer.
there is a note of cinnamon.
There
Yeah,
is.
I was
There-
getting that
there
immediately.
is. There
Yeah.
is. This is like if you got that,
Let me see your sheet.
if you got those things at the convenience market that you
that
add
says
to
cinnamon.
your
Oh, I
coffee
see.
to
Yeah.
make it more caffeinated.
It's a word
Yeah.
that has C in
Stokes.
it.
It's like you've made a beer with Stokes.
Horrible.
Those little like the
All right.
That is just heinous, man.
Yeah, it's not good.
Okay.
bless their hearts, as we say.
Hey,
down
you know
here.
I
what?
would rather drink the hard PBR coffee than this.
100%.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
I just finished it like
Of course,
something like
that
I
one is
had to.
not alcohol free, is it?
It has got quite a bit of alcohol in
Yeah,
it, but it's
so that's the reason why.
That's why you prefer to.
but it also tastes like coffee.
Yeah. At least you get drunk, though, right?
Wow.
Yeah,
This is going to be a long hour, folks.
This
Okay,
is-
Beer
so
B.
that was A. All right.
yeah,
Yeah.
beer B, and
Well, look,
7
we
more to
rated
go.
this, right?
No, we already did. We gave it a 2.
Gave it
Okay.
two. Yep.
Two.
So
Okay.
We
the
had
Intrepid Coffee Cream Brew from Hell was a Suds rating of 2. Yeah.
Okay, number
Yep.
B.
Number
Beer
B.
B. All right.
What'd you
I
guys
actually
think?
wrote down. I thought this was a clone of Miller High Life. It was malty. It was kind of sweet.
It is a crazy color.
It's the one that made me. This is when I started to think gluten.
I actually wrote down
This
an
beer,
actual
actually.
beer.
You know
so-
what?
But it's
This
not.
does look gluten free.
Yeah,
I've seen a
it's-
couple of gluten free beers, and they have this kind of.
It's
It's not really hazy, but it's just kind of cloudy,
muddy.
and-
Yeah.
It's just a weird pale brown.
It's just like they gave up halfway through.
Yeah.
Something's.
Any other tasting notes? Was there cinnamon in this one?
No, there was not.
There is some there is
think
some
it-
hop in here though.
Yeah,
little
there is
bit,
some
but
hot presence.
It felt or tasted kind of stale to me. Like this
Yeah.
one's probably been around a while.
Hey, that's a good descriptor for all of these.
Yeah,
Actually,
pretty much.
They all
They're all
tasted.
skunk.
They all tasted a little. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay,
All right. Well,
what did you guys rate this one? Or
Our,
what did we rate this one?
our Suds rating for Beer B is a 2. And the reveal is
Okay, so this one is Klosthaler dry hopped, non-alcoholic with Cascade hop.
From Deutschland.
Yeah. So
Proud
this,
tradition.
this is a malt beverage, dry hop with Cascade hops. It is the world's first dry hop malt beverage in its category, brewed by the German pioneer of non-alcoholic malt beverages. It is full-bodied, amber-colored, and hints of malty caramel. By dry hopping, we crown its body with crisp citrus notes. Finally, we let our brew unfiltered to allow its rich flavor to unfold with every sip.
please
that
do
what
not
you call
use the
that?
words rich and flavor.
Yeah.
Oi.
Yeah.
It's got 89 calories, and it has won the World Beer Awards
For not-
2017.
How can you win
Bless
a
their
beer
heart.
award when it's not beer?
You know, that's just like you got to give everybody a trophy.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
it's
right.
like, we're all going to participate.
Oh, they sent in their $50. We'll give them
Yeah.
a trophy. Yeah.
turning
So-
beer into soccer.
So the key word there is they brewed this. So how are they getting the alcohol out? Is there a couple of methods for that, or
It's
do
got to
we know
eat
what
all-
they're doing?
Well, they don't. There hadn't be no sugar and no yeast.
Do they use yeast even? I mean, I don't even know.
I mean, are they making a beer and taking the alcohol out, or is there a special process where there's just no
It's just
alcohol?
like-
I don't know.
just like
It's
wort
some
with
unnatural
hops or
thing.
It is unnatural. I'll give you that.
Well, While our crack research staff is looking that up, hey
Yikes.
Google,
Yikes.
tell me how to make non-alcoholic beer.
Don't.
It actually says don't try. For God's sake, don't try.
Be quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you started it. You woke
did.
Google
Yeah, I
up.
won't
did.
Google up. All right, so
They're always listening.
just a reminder: our rating on the Dutch beer from hell was a Suds rating of 2,
2.
and so we'll keep going along here.
Very
So,
generous. We
beer
were.
C.
I think winning the award for best non-alcoholic beer is kind of like winning prom queen for homeschool.
It's like being the thinnest kid at fat camp.
You know, I was the kid with the best eyesight at blind camp. I'm just throwing that out there.
Same thing. Same thing.
Yeah, you know.
Skinniest kid in fan camp. That's good. All right, so beer C. What'd you think about that one?
Skunky.
Worse than the other two.
Honestly, is this Heineken NA? Because it sure tastes like Heineken to me.
So I wrote down, I thought it was a lager. It was crisp. It was light. It was very watery. I actually pegged this as a Mick Ultra.
I agree with those things, light, watery, but kind of crisp. I think
I guess.
Yeah, there is a Christmas
Do I
in
really
this
have
one.
to taste these
got
twice?
a little bit of noble hop flavor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it just had that vague characteristic of the international pale lager.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of reminded me of a St. Pauli
Spent
girl
some-
kind of thing.
spent some time in a green
or
bottle.
A
Be very
Heineken
lightly
kind of thing.
light struck.
Yeah,
maybe.
definitely guessing
Yeah.
it's a green bottle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
So
what
what do
did
we-
we rate this
Our
unknown
Suds
beer?
rating for beer C is a 2. And the big reveal is going to be...
Interestingly,
Into the cooler she goes.
I know. So it is in a green bottle,
It is.
and it's the original. It's not the dry hopped, but the
So it's
previous
the
beer was
Same,
the,
same
yeah,
as the
Holler,
other, whatever it was.
But before they dry
the
hopped it.
pioneers of European alcohol-free beer.
It's such a different color, though. It's completely different color.
Because all
I
the hop
guess-
crap didn't settle
yeah,
into it.
maybe.
So it's
Hops
the Dutch
improved it.
have tortured us twice on this.
Yes.
Yep.
And I
Cross
think it's
color
safe to
out.
say the hops helped in the other one. You know,
I think so.
I don't
Can
know,
we
man.
send all of the
this one
non-alcoholic
a
beer
1.
Really,
to Dutch?
I
to
kind
the
of like.
Dutch, to
Why are you sending German crap to the Dutch?
Hey,
You
they're
just hate the
sending it
Dutch?
to us. I just want to send it all back.
This is not Dutch.
This is German.
Oh, it's German.
German.
keep up
I'm
with
sorry.
it.
Well, that changes everything.
Oh, that totally changes everything.
Just let him go. You know,
I just said Heineken to throw you off, and St.
I
Pauli
just
girl
want
to
to
throw
send
you
this
off.
to the Dutch.
Kendall's got the right idea. I'm dutifully drinking every drop of this crap.
Why would a
He's
German
just
make
like,
a
no,
Well, it's not
Alcoholic
like it's
beer.
going to make you drunk.
Okay, so my little fun fact here on how do you make non-alcoholic beer?
hit us
Okay.
maybe with some knowledge.
So you brew like you would normally brew, except that once the beer has finished fermenting, you need to heat it to 175 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes. Alcohol evaporates
Evaporate
at a
it
lower
off.
temperature than
Yeah.
the rest of your beer.
Yeah.
You almost
so by
just distill
heating
it off.
I was about
you
to
will
say, so it's a
yes.
light distillation process.
Right.
Yeah.
So you will get all that delicious beer goodness minus the ABV.
So this is like anti-whiskey.
Why can't it be better then?
So does
That
that mean
sounds
that?
easy enough.
So does
you
that
know?
mean that
It's-
anybody can make a beer non-alcoholic? You just throw it in the microwave
you're
and
basically
just boil it up, and
that
boom,
sounds
you're
like
done.
the pasteurization process. To
Yeah,
me,
and
you know.
I think maybe that
Kinda
heats
is.
why some of these have that stale character you get
Yeah.
going because
Yeah.
all these beers have been heated up, and you wonder how fast that happens. It's probably not like a flash pasteurization.
no.
I wonder what boiled bud tastes like.
Right.
I don't think I want to know.
So I guess to pasteurize, you just bring it up to that temp. You don't hold it for whatever they do. The
You have to
15
hold it
whatever
for
minutes or-
like a little bit. I don't think you have to hold it
I
there
like
for
this. This is stepping
What's that,
into the
15
theme
to
of
20
a
minutes?
questionable decision because I can hear a couple of guys, in South Georgia going, "Yo, well, Fred, we're going to put all this beer in this pot and we're going to boil it and we're going to take all the alcohol out of it because Mama told me don't drink. So I'm not drinking alcohol. I'm going to put it all in this pot. Bring me another case of Bud Light. Put it in here."
We've had distilled. Some of you guys with me have had distilled beer. We've had
Well, near beer, yeah.
Anjay did that.
Yeah.
He, and you ended up with a white spirit.
Well,
like
we know the crew that makes the near beer whiskey,
like a beer schnapps.
right? Or beer brandy.
Well, I've had that,
With
like
no fruit.
Corsair made that hopped whiskey.
yeah, yeah.
You know, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Negative. It's not.
So
It's
it
a
is
bad
good,
idea.
man.
I told Derek
Come
it was
on.
a bad idea the day he said, "Oh, I'm going to use Galaxy and put it in, and we're going to make a whiskey out of it." I'm
Well, I didn't like the
"No."
Galaxy one. I think
Like,
it was
that's a horrible idea.
I think it was the
Citra.
Cascade or Citra. Yeah,
Citra.
we liked.
So my question is one of the sip shows going to do a non-alcoholic bourbon show now?
Negative.
You have to now.
Yeah, you got to, Mike.
Yeah.
Boy.
You can't saddle us with this.
Yeah. we've broken the thing
That's right.
open.
The
so now
seal
you
has
can-
The
been
ice.
broken.
Maybe non-alcoholic wine. Maybe we might do a
so
non-alcoholic
fruit
wine
juice.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your
Wow.
favorite fruit juice?
Yeah.
Has a
The
straw.
terroir coming off this is really awesome. I can't wait
With
for
or
that
without
moment.
raspberries?
Right. Yeah.
What would low ABV whiskey be? Just awful.
A bad idea.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
pretty much like this flight. All right. If you're keeping track, that was another crappy non-alcoholic German beer that we rated a 2. What's the name of it again? Julieanna?
Klosthaler.
Klosthaler. Yeah. Yeah. It needs to be gone. All right. Moving along to beer D.
Number D.
Not number D. Just beer D.
man.
Your tasting notes. Nasty. That's the first time I wrote down nasty.
Actually,
Yeah, but it's hoppy. It almost it tastes like a watery beer.
This was my highest rated.
I don't mind this
I
one.
actually wrote down I thought this was an ale and had a bit of a citrus overtone to it.
Yep. I thought it was rather crisp, had a little bit of good flavor. I did not like the aroma at all. I got even like a little hint of garbage,
Kind of
dirty
feet.
brains.
some feet.
Seriously, like some Mercaptan, I think's the word. But yeah, it's not terrible when you drink it.
Like you could almost get used to this.
I think so. If I had to,
But here's my thing.
even
It's
still,
like,
it'd be a tough.
what is the point? Like, why not just drink water or juice or
Lagunitas
tea?
made
or-
hop water, didn't they?
And
that
it's
stuff is
delicious.
It's good.
That stuff's good.
So I guess I don't understand
the grain.
what the
Put some
point
hops
is.
in water and give me
Yeah.
an opener.
Wow.
You know?
Like to look cool. Like, oh hey dude, what you pounding there? Oh, I just got me a 6 or some 0.5%. In a beer.
That's a good point. I mean, I would think that
You're not
part of your
getting-
market for non-alcoholic beer are former beer drinkers who can no longer, for health reasons or whatever, can
Right.
drink alcohol. Dude, this
cut it loose.
This ain't gonna bring you back
Yeah.
to the good old days.
Dude.
Let it go.
You could be
Yeah.
having some nice sweet tea.
Yeah,
or,
let it go.
I would
man.
drink something else.
This is awful.
Wow. So our Suds rating for beer D is a 3.
This was the pinnacle.
And the reveal for
big
beer
reveal.
D is
Well, this one is kind of cool. So this is called Punk AF.
Ah,
wow.
Any idea?
I know these guys.
Kendall knows. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're on a mission to prove that alcohol-free does not equate to taste-free.
Yeah.
And
Keep trying.
they're bringing a new alternative to the mainstream.
Halfway there.
A beer for those seeking a point of difference at 0.5% ABV that brings all the attitude of their flagship, all of the flavor, but none of the alcohol. Courtesy of Brewdog.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Brewdog.
Straight out of Scotland.
All right. So
Like their
the Brewdog
alcohol-free version of
non-alcoholic,
punk.
flavor forward was not flavor forward.
And I
we
think-
rated that a 3.
I think they actually have a couple of
Yeah,
non-alcoholic
they've
beers.
got 2 or 3 different kinds.
yeah.
So I had a topic of everything good in life. It's definitely worth it. I was driving down the road this week, and right on the side of the road there was a vegetable stand, but it had a big sign next to it, and it said "fresh organic eggs," and then over the top of it had Amish.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I keep on, and so my wife was like, "Oh, we really need some of these, and they're Amish. And I
Amish
go,
eggs, yeah.
how would you know if they're Amish? Are there like Amish chickens?
Yeah.
I mean,
They all
do
have beards.
Little bearded.
do they all walk around and call each other Yoder?
Yeah.
I mean, exactly. How would you know that there is such a thing as an Amish
And
egg?
here's the thing: if they're Amish, that means they ride in a buggy. So how fresh could they possibly be?
You know,
This is a good point, Dave.
they're a hard-working chicken.
So you're saying the work ethic of a Amish chicken
Yeah.
would be something that you would really want to work towards?
Yeah.
I mean, you would be able to
over
look and go,
a regular chicken.
you're Amish, you're not Amish.
You know, you shouldn't make light of it. They do turn their little chicks loose when their chicks are teenagers and let them experience the world of a real chicken. And then they have to choose to come back and join the flock, so to speak.
There has to be like an entire marketing book that I've dismissed. So we've covered, there's Amish housekeeping. Ex-Amish housekeeping. Yes. Ex-Amish housekeeping.
They use electric vacuum
That's
cleaners.
correct. I don't
Okay.
know how you figure out that you were Amish, not that you are Amish. It's like, were you ever, I mean, so if those chickens, ever become ex-Amish, would you call them ex-Amish organic eggs?
Absolutely.
Yes, you would.
I don't know.
We'll discuss this after this break.
They were shunned.
So banned.
Hey, welcome back to Sip, Suds, and Smokes. On today's Suds episode, we're going through a torture fest.
Dun, dun, dun.
Literally.
Hey, this is part of our summer. Yeah, that is an understatement. This is part of our summer of questionable decisions. And this is right at the top of a questionable decisions. Why would anybody go after a non-alcoholic beer? So, if you didn't keep track of what we're doing, we had 8 beers that we all tasted blind, and we rated and put our tasting notes to these, and we're going through the reveal of those blind beers. And there was a mystery as to what all these beers had in common. You said a common ingredient, but anyway.
Yeah.
The lack of alcohol is what all these are all non-alcoholic beers. So
He's going to stand by that.
I am
too.
standing by it.
He's like, that's totally an ingredient. The lack
totally
of
an
alcohol.
ingredient. It's the lack of the lack of brain cells.
The
All right.
absence.
So we were just having a riveting discussion about Amish chickens as well.
Yes. None of these beers. Yeah.
Rewind it just a bit, because I really want to know specifically if that chicken were to become not Amish, would he get like an ex-Amish card? I mean, to show people to go,
A shunned
I'm producing
chicken.
ex-Amish organic eggs.
Oh, but that chicken's going to hell for sure.
That's right.
It's like, do you still call him a Yoder after that? I mean, how do you refer to the chickens? Samuel? No, not Samuel anymore. It's
You have to, when you see the chicken, you have to turn your back on it.
Yeah, there you go.
You just look away.
Shame. There we go. Something like that. Wow. All right, we got 4 more beers to go through here.
Can we make it?
Let's the torture continue with beer E as in Edward, or everything sucks in this flight. Your tasting notes, or the lack thereof, for this beer.
Terrible.
Almost the same as C. Skunky, that general international lager flavor.
I actually thought this was a Miller Lite, so we know that's not true.
There's an odd sweetness to this one.
Yeah, that's why I said I thought
already
it was a
dumped
Miller
it.
Lite. You already dumped
Already dumped it.
it. Sad.
Definite kind of adjunct.
Yeah.
European.
I am so
Light
shocked
lager.
you guys are not finishing all the beers in your sample cups today.
Not today.
There's no
Yeah,
payoff.
I've got to drive. I've got to drive home. Sorry.
Yeah, right.
Stop.
Kendall's being responsible.
All right, so our Suds rating here for beer E is going to be a 2. And our reveal of beer E.
St. Pauli Girl, non-alcoholic, 0.5%.
Dun.
But
I knew
doesn't
the
it-
Dutch were involved
Yeah.
with this.
I like her too.
Looks like my urine.
But you don't like your evil twin?
No.
I just knew it. Somehow, some way, the Dutch were to blame.
This St. Pauli girl is the sister who's not that much fun.
Yeah, she's-
Wow.
She's
man.
only got one mug.
Yeah.
When's the last time you guys had a St. Pauli girl?
Oh, gee, 25 years
40
ago.
I'd
years,
say it's got to
maybe?
be at least 20 years ago since
It's been a while. I think we
I'm
tried
going to say 40 years. That's not an exaggeration.
I know. I used to, back even
I'm an
before
old
craft took off, you know, St. Pauli and St. Pauli Girl Dark, I always enjoyed too.
Yeah.
Those would be my Air Force days.
Wow.
I drank the good stuff.
That's right. Protecting America.
It probably just tasted like that non-alcoholic St. Pauli girl, about the same.
Speaking of the Air Force, when I was in the Air Force, one of my friends had a case of Miller High Life, and he put it in the trunk of his car for approximately a year. Not by design. It just we were cleaning his car one day, and we found a case of Miller High Life. Wow. He was like, "Oh wow,
well aged."
It was better than this.
That's not saying a whole lot.
At least he got a buzz at the end of it.
That was better than this.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the again, our Suds rating for the St. Pauli Girl non-alcoholic was a Suds rating of 2.
A deuce.
Moving on to
Very generous.
beer number F is going to be. What did you think of this?
It kind of tastes like a beer.
F is in. This is one of the first and only times we will do this. I actually wrote down, I thought this was a Pilsner, possibly a lager. It was watery, maybe a Coors Light.
It's not the worst of the bunch for sure.
This was the best of the flight for me.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
What I give
I would
this thing?
agree. I think there was nothing too offensive about it.
This tastes like a beer. I mean,
Yeah,
like
that's what I was thinking.
It's
Get
a
some
beer. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, this
it'll
actually
do.
tastes like a beer.
like this is the beer. Like if you went to a place that didn't have a great beer list, you would get this beer. You're like, you know what?
Better than nothing, right?
Yeah.
This is actually nothing.
If it'll wash down a burger, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I just finished it like a.
I wonder if we
good
had a
soldier.
group of Amish chickens, which non-alcoholic beer they would have picked.
Yeah, they they're pretty choosy. I think the Amish chickens. They're not.
Are they smarter than regular chickens?
I think-
Like those
I think-
chickens that
I'm
like
sure
can,
they are.
I
can
think so.
do all those smart things like
Well,
math and
they
stuff.
say like, like from that movie Kingpin, he was like the Amish. We do everything 1.5 times as better as everybody else. So,
I'm
are
gonna
there
watch Kingpin tonight.
are there
It's been
chickens
a
like
while.
a little bit bigger?
I wonder if those Amish chickens would have said this beer flight sucks, just like the rest of us. All right.
they're
For
pretty
beer
bright.
F, our Suds rating is going to be a 3. And the big reveal for beer F.
This is another WellBeing. And this one is the Heavenly Body Golden Wheat.
Named after me.
68 calories, 0 sugar,
68
0.2%. Yeah.
Oh, this is one of the ones that came to town.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, this is all they do.
Yeah.
This is their thing.
They only do non-alcoholic beers. Yeah. I met these folks, yeah. So, and that's great that they actually produced a beer that we actually thought tasted like beer.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Cool, sort of.
Well done. Well
so
done.
for WellBeing, thank you for creating a beer that actually tastes like a beer. I appreciate that.
Now put some alcohol in it. Shut up.
Our Suds rating for that was 3 once again. All right, moving along to beer G, as in Gah. I cannot believe this flight lasted this long. What are your tasting notes on beer G?
You know what? To me, this one, tasting it right now, it tastes like nothing.
It actually. That's what I was just. I thought that.
I don't dislike it.
Right.
I don't like it. I nothing it.
That's it.
Like it's there.
it's
It's
just-
like, I know it's there.
It's not water.
It's not. It's not
It's
offensive.
not beer.
You'll love
Right.
my tasting notes. I wrote down, I thought it was a Pils, maybe a Pale Ale. It was watery. Maybe this is Natty Light.
Yeah.
I got the faintest hint of a little bit of citrus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, a
it's
little
like
bit.
it's
It's
like a water.
very-
It's
yeah.
like you take a little lemon and
Yep.
squeeze it into your
And-
glass of
yep.
water.
Mhm.
This
Tastes
one
like lemon in a-
almost. I
lemon in
could have
glass
rated a
of water.
3. I almost could have said.
I give this.
All right. So our Suds rating here for beer G is going to be a 2.
You almost made it.
And the big reveal for beer G.
Well, this one is interesting. It's funny that you say lemon, right? Or citrus. So this is the Victory Wheat. But this Victory Wheat is special. This is also by WellBeing.
Okay.
It's not Victory Brew.
I thought it was
$85.
I thought it too.
I was like, this is Golden Monkey with no alcohol in it. Awesome.
Bless their hearts.
Now, granted, this is 0.19 ABV.
Wow.
They're very proud of that versus the 0.2 Heavenly Body Golden Wheat.
So this is their like sports drink beer.
Yeah, it's full of electrolytes and polyphenols
What
and
sport
vitamins.
would you watch drinking this? Like,
Is it really?
It's
Is that a joke
women's
or is it
lacrosse.
really?
No, it's
Yeah, for real.
dog show.
It's like if you're like you go on a long run or something and you want to like go to the bar and have a beer with your friends.
I feel dumber for
But-
drinking this stuff. man.
But like Mick Ultra is a little too boozy.
Right,
Caperton,
right.
what sport would you be watching if you were drinking this beer?
Yeah, I don't know. Self-flagellation.
Self-flagellation. a farting contest.
Yeah.
I like that.
Sitting around
That-
beating myself.
That
This would
thing
be
in that game in Korea where guys stand and hit each other with belts.
Yeah. Work up a
Julianna,
powerful
what
thirst
sport?
doing
What
that.
sport would you choose to watch and drink this beer with?
Oh my God. Curling?
Curling? Curling. I like that.
That's
Wow.
it's back to Canada.
That's
You
pretty
guys
good. Yeah,
cannot
pretty much.
leave Canada alone.
Keeping
All
with the
roads
theme
lead
here,
back to
I like
Canada.
that. I can blame the
What's
Canadians.
the name of that sport
Terrible beer.
where
Got to be Canadian.
like you put a ferret down your pants? Like, no, seriously, this is a sport. You put a ferret in your pants,
Yeah.
and whoever can keep the ferret in their
Hey,
pants
Google, what's
longest
the
wins.
sport with a
Fine.
ferret in it?
What?
That's a I promise you, that is a sport.
put a
I'm not
ferret in
making-
your pants and say, "Find the sunflower seed."
So, do you think that they'll probably sponsor that league? Hey, we're the official sponsor of the Ferret in the Pants League.
the ferret pants.
How do they know the difference between 0.19 and 0.2%? I mean, really, are they testing this? Because hey, the non-alcoholic beer we should have had is that slushy beer from up the road that
I think
said they were 8%, and when somebody tested it, it was just pure juice. There was no alcohol in
I
it.
think their lab
you hear
guy
that
might
story?
be the only guy
Yeah.
that's on the ball.
I don't know.
Okay, so ferret legging was an endurance test or stunt in which ferrets were trapped in trousers worn by a participant, also known as put 'em down and ferret down trousers.
Put 'em
It
down.
seems to have been popular among coal miners in Yorkshire, England.
Yeah.
That's
There you go.
So I
tough
just want to know
lunch.
if it was an Amish ferret, would it be any different?
It would work that much
And
harder.
would you know which one of the ex-Amish ferrets?
I guess the ferret would have that beard, right? But not a mustache.
Would he still be named Yoder?
Maybe.
this beer's
That is
made-
funny.
this
What's your deal
beer's
with
made me-
Yoder?
This beer's made me dumb.
It's a common Amish name.
It's a common Amish name.
Yeah.
Common Amish?
Yeah, the Yoders. They're over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So,
Yoder and
wow.
Yeah. So there we
So
are.
the WellBeing sports beer again, our
Victory.
Victory was named
Victory.
Suds of 2 for that.
I like how when we said victory, we all went, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Yeah, we were excited. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And
no,
then no, not even close.
Golden
No.
Monkey NA.
Yeah.
That's coming out next
We were
next
just
spring.
looking for anything there.
Yeah,
you know.
please.
Please
All right.
give us something to hang
We're
on
into the last beer of the flight. Beer H is in Hallelujah.
to.
This is almost,
Hallelujah beer.
yeah. So
Hey, I mean, it's
this is the first time that I wrote down nasty twice.
This is not the worst of the bunch.
It's
not at all.
It's kind of perfumey.
It
Sweet.
is. Yeah, it
Little,
is.
little dry, resiny at the finish.
Gosh, I would ask for my money back if somebody handed this to me.
You know what? I'm going to say if I had to,
Yeah.
this would be the one I would pick. I did not. My rating doesn't reflect that, but
This
but
one
now that I tasted and you know
this
yeah,
one
context.
warmed up better than a lot
Yeah,
of the others
it did.
True. I will give you that. It went from being nasty to just
This is not
nasty.
offensive. This is not that. Hey, there we go. That's what a low alcohol beer.
And it's not offensive.
That's what they should
Yeah.
aim
Not
for.
offensive.
Is it's not offensive.
Try our beer. It's not
No,
offensive.
it's I
This
mean,
won't piss you off.
this is almost
It's almost
drinkable.
All right. Our Suds rating here for beer H is a 2.
Yeah.
And the big review.
This one's gonna.
Oh, he's so excited about this one.
Okay. This one is 0.5%. And it tastes just like a regular beer, but therein lies the special effect.
Zebulon.
It's not. We use a special fermentation method that develops the flavors, aromas, and character of beer with none of the alcohol and a generous dry hopping resulting in lively hops and a clean finish.
Sure.
No.
Brooklyn Brewing.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Brewing.
Okay.
It's called Special Effects.
Special effects. Wow.
There you go.
That's my pick of the litter.
There it is.
Read them and weep. Mike Woods.
All right. So that recap real quick for beer H was Brooklyn
Brooklyn Brewing
Special Effects.
Special Effects.
And our Suds rating was 2. Yeah. Wow. So what do you guys think of this flight?
Wow. I don't even know what to say.
This was the only way you could have gotten me to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I would never volunteer.
You know,
for
I've
this.
been with people that, they've asked me about a non-alcoholic beer that, I would recommend. And I just I'm like, yeah, I'm just always kind of flabbergasted when people ask me that. I'm like, why would you?
What's like decaffeinated coffee? Decaffeinated coffee. Why?
What's the point?
Well, here's
I
the
don't
deal.
get it.
Decaffeinated coffee still tastes like coffee.
Sometimes.
Negative.
Okay.
I don't. Sorry.
I don't drink much of it, so I don't really know.
The main coffee nerd in the room says negative.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll defer to you.
I would not drink any of these. I might have tried the Brew Dog or the Brooklyn just out of curiosity. But I wouldn't have even tried the others.
I wouldn't have wanted to.
No.
Yeah. Well, I think that's kind of the point is like, I'm not slamming anybody for not drinking alcohol. Obviously, that's a positive choice that people make for their health and stuff.
We should say that.
And I encourage that. But don't
I've been
try to
married
drink
32
something
years. That's a requirement.
Make the break.
Don't try to drink.
We're not judging you. You know?
Okay, but maybe for somebody that's in a group of people, like if you're going to a family reunion or something like that, where there's going to be other cans of, that are being cracked open and carried around. Maybe they just feel that they need to have something.
Yes.
And not have a soda.
that they feel that way.
Yeah. If you're gonna do a head fake, don't go down this path.
You know what? Here's a fun fact. I'm probably going to think you're more of a dork for drinking this crap than
just drinking
water or tea.
Well, but
I
until
agree.
recently with the Lagunitas hop water, you really didn't have another choice,
This
right?
is true.
But
This is
now,
true.
just drink the hop water.
Yes,
At
which is
least now-
fantastic.
I will
Moral of the
say,
story is
I feel enlightened. At least I have an informed.
This was
opinion
actually
now
kind of fun.
That this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
it was fun though.
As opposed to if you'd asked me about it beforehand, I would have
Torturous.
said it's a bad idea.
But fun.
But now I
Questionable
know.
decision done
That's for
again.
sure. Yeah. Hey, thanks for joining us on this Torture Fest episode today. It's really a lot of fun. We'll have all of our show notes that you can go back and look at all of these names in all their glory as well. Hey, guess what? You actually found this show. Awesome. We're
losing it here.
We're going to be right back wherever you found us again next week as well.
With alcohol.
With alcohol, that's for sure.
Yeah.
As well as on radio, satellite, online, anywhere on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, nearly any place you can listen to a podcast. The easiest way to find this show is on your phone. Ask any of the chicks, Alexa, Siri, Google, play podcasts, Sip, Suds, and Smokes.
We love your feedback, and you can always reach us online at info@sipsudsandsmokes.com.
Our daily tasting notes flew out on Twitter and Instagram every day at Sip Suds Smoke, and our Facebook page is always buzzing with lots of news.
Please take the time to rate this episode if you're listening online.
5 stars.
Do it.
Hey, I want to thank my co-host for being here through this real quickly. Good old boy Caperton.
This was fun. Despite it all, I'm glad you guys had me along for this.
Go to gal Julieanna.
The question is, are we better with or without the alcohol?
Stupid question. Good old boy Dave.
Hey, if I turn up missing, these guys did it.
Hey, Kendall, now say goodbye.
Goodbye. Glad to be here.
This has been a One Tan Hand production of Sips, Suds, and Smokes, a program devoted to the appreciation of some of the finer slices of life. From the Dude in the Basement Studios, your hosts, the Good Old Boys, will see you all next time.